Hi Laura, I hope this video finds you well. I'm joining you from quarantine with my kitties in the background, and I am doing a video response to the principal story. I watched these videos twice. 2 weeks ago, I watched them just to enjoy and listen and kind of empathize with the principals in my own situation at a Title I school. And tonight, I rewatched those videos through the lens of leadership theory and everything that we've discussed in our class. Just a little background on where I'm teaching. My students in Salt Lake City at Woodrow Wilson, they are 100% free and reduced lunch. And on top of the circumstances of the principles from those videos, 80% of my students speak another language. And I would say about 25% of my students are refugees from another country. So an added layer of complexity to the situation that those ladies are facing. However, I can truly empathize with everything that they're going through with the problems in my own classroom and the needs that need to be addressed. So I was able to connect with them on a really deep level, which leads me to another part of my response that the ending of those videos made my heart sink and made me cry both times. The tone of hard work and progress and defying the odds was kind of dampened at the end with the change in leadership of Purcell to another school and then eventually leaving education altogether to consult, with Dunbar leaving her school. I looked her up. At the end of the film, she was still principal of that school, but now she's the assistant superintendent of Chicago schools. So both ladies having indefinitely left schools in the classroom for higher administrative positions or private practice positions just makes my heart hurt to think that such excellent leaders have left the schools. It kills me. Points that I wanted to, and I keep looking down because I'm looking at my notes, but points that I really wanted to discuss with you on this video were leaders in schools like the schools that I teach at. So I don't know if you know this, but this year I won the 2020 Excel Award for Granite School District, and right now I'm applying for Teacher of the Year for Granite School District. And with this recognition, I'm kind of seeing a difference in how other teachers see me, as well as shift in expectations of administrators and what they expect of me. Seeing both principals leaving their schools kills me because that is not my intention at all as an educator. I love teaching in the classroom, and in the next couple years, I do plan to advance my degree to get an ED in teacher leadership, specifically curriculum and instruction. So I do desire to expand my education past a master's degree. However, the program that I'm looking into is actually through the University of Florida. And it specializes in developing pedagogical knowledge and leadership abilities for teachers in practice. And I feel like that's what schools need if we really want to change, is developing the capacities of leaders in the school and not pushing them out of the school. With Purcell, she was expected to leave to another school and diffuse the situation at the worst school because she was the best leader. And leadership theory from our class shows that one leader can't change a whole system. Problems with a school it's not technical. You can't fix it with one factor. These are adaptive problems, and with adaptive problems, it requires multiple stakeholders collaborating together. And so I feel like that premise, and a lot of that is just common knowledge and is just expected, that a leader, a principal, comes in and changes the school. It's up to the principal. And if the school succeeds, it's the principal's success. And if the school fails, it's the principal's failure. And I don't think that's fair, especially in knowing what we know and talking about all of the theories that we've talked about, whether it's Heifetz or whether it's talking about Disney, that the continuous change can't happen with just one person. It's multifaceted. And so from my own experience connecting it with what happened with these ladies in the film, I just feel like we look for easy fixes in education, and it can't happen from one leader. And using the best leaders to deal with the worst circumstances leads to burnout. In talking about Heifetz's Razor's Edge, damned if you do, damned if you don't. You do great, awesome, they give you more things to do. If you do bad, they close down your school. I mean, my heart was aching the entire time I was watching that film, because the pressure is real. You do well one year. Our school, Woodrow Wilson, came out of failing status. We got to a D plus, so we went out of turnaround. But the next year we didn't make the cut and we didn't get a passing status, and so now we're under scrutiny again. It's an endless cycle of accountability and higher expectations, and so that target's always changing. So I can really empathize with those ladies, from a leadership perspective and also just from a teacher perspective in dealing with those circumstances. Um, Another thing that I really wanted to point to was, let me look at my notes, was that it takes multiple stakeholders. And I loved how both of those principals empowered their staff and encouraged them to take on the responsibility, of really innovating and changing those schools. Because even though those ladies were absolutely fabulous, giving the work back to the people and making it their problem as well as the principal's problem, so shared problem solving, I feel like is really what turned both of those schools around. I'm interested to see if that leadership and that empowerment was sustainable. If I were to visit those schools, would they be continuing that trajectory of success? I really hope so. But I think the film was fabulous, and it really made me think about my own personal experience as an educational leader, and also really it reinforced my desire to stay in the classroom and to continue to develop my leadership capabilities without having to make the same exit that they did. I hope that you are doing well and that you're staying healthy and sane in this quarantine madness. And I can't wait to discuss different articles and situations with you in the class for the rest of the semester. Have a wonderful night.